What is the importance of the sanitation procedure? The importance of the sanitation procedure is to prevent and control the introduction of harmful elements, such as bacteria and viruses, into the product. What are harmful elements? Harmful elements are components or things that cause damage. For example, some microorganisms called pathogens could cause disease in humans. Sometimes these pathogens can be found in food. The process of sanitation must be based on scientific validation. That means that the process used for cleaning and disinfecting must be scientifically proven to work. The process must result in reducing microorganisms to a safe level. This result is obtained using a specific procedure for cleaning and disinfecting the surfaces. We must be aware that harmful elements can be detrimental to the consumer's health and the product's shelf life. Cross-contamination. Cross-contamination is when we move microorganisms or any noxious or harmful element from a contaminated area to an uncontaminated area. We can also define cross-contamination as the process by which food comes into contact with substances generally harmful to the health of consumers. Harmful elements can come from different sources, such as employees themselves. For example, we can introduce bacteria and viruses into the production areas by not washing our hands. Another way to transfer microorganisms from one area to another is by touching or stepping on uncontaminated areas after having contact with contaminated ones. The image on the screen shows a worker lifting a mat off the floor. The worker could contaminate other areas and the product if they do not wash their hands properly after lifting the mat. We should wash our hands, change gloves, and apply sanitizer if we touch an area or object that we know may be contaminated. In this way, we avoid transporting harmful elements to other areas and to the product. Insects and rodents are also transmitters of harmful elements. They can carry bacteria, viruses, and other particles. To avoid the entrance of insects or rodents, we must keep the doors and accesses of the production area closed at all times. In this image, we see the sanitation technician wearing the yellow uniform while cleaning the drain. This yellow uniform is used when cleaning the machines and other areas of the production, and it should not be used for drain cleaning. That is to avoid our uniform transporting harmful elements to other production areas. When cleaning the drains, we must wear a different uniform to that worn when cleaning the machines and other areas. Some studies show that the floor and drains in the production areas are the locations with the greatest amounts of harmful elements. Let's analyze this. We know that the force of gravity makes most physical elements fall to the ground. Therefore, we can conclude that most microorganisms and viruses are found on the floor and in the drainage. In this next image, we see how the sanitation technician places the drain cover on top of the machine, thereby committing an instance of cross-contamination. Before moving on to the next image, let's observe how the drain is about to overflow. Comparing the previous image with this image, we already know why the drain was about to overflow. The sanitation technician removed the drain cover to throw the product down the drain. The product introduced obstructed the free flow of water, thus blocking the drainage. Consequently, the water accumulated in the drainage system overflows its limits. The water coming from the drainage system comes into contact with the floor. This overflow of water can transfer harmful elements to the floor, which may later contaminate other production areas and consequently contaminate the product. For this reason, we must first remove all visible product from the floor with a shovel. Another clear example of cross-contamination. We can see how the sanitation technician is using strong water pressure to clean the drain. The aerosol or spray of the water can carry harmful elements from the drainage to other production areas. What is aerosol? It is the suspension or elevation of small drops of a substance in the air. These small drops are the ones that transport microorganisms, viruses, and other harmful elements from one area to another. What are the suitable conditions for the growth of microorganisms? First, food. Microorganisms are living beings. Therefore, they need food to survive. We can eliminate these suitable conditions for the survival of microorganisms by using detergent. Detergent combined with physical movements, such as rubbing or scrubbing, remove food residues from surfaces, thereby preventing the growth of microorganisms. Second, acid. Microorganisms do not survive in an acid environment. This sanitizing chemical is applied to eliminate a suitable condition for the microorganisms. This chemical creates an acidic environment in which the microorganisms cannot exist. Biofilm. What is biofilm? A biofilm is composed of a thin layer of living cells, generally formed by communities of microorganisms. The microorganisms adhere or stick to a surface, such as the surfaces of production area machines. This layer allows the microorganisms to resist and protect themselves from the attack of chemicals, such as sanitizer. One way to prevent these protective layers from forming between microorganisms, besides using detergent, is by scrubbing or rubbing the surfaces with brushes or other designated cleaning equipment. To avoid the formation of biofilms, it is also important to consider the length of time the detergent is applied to the surfaces before removing it. In just a moment, we will be listing and explaining the procedure of the 7 steps of sanitation. The process of cleaning and disinfecting, which we will see soon, is scientifically validated. As we have learned, this means that the procedure used for cleaning and disinfecting is scientifically proven to be effective in combating microorganisms and other harmful elements. First step, dry cleaning. Lockout and tagout, or LOTO. In the first step, we have to perform lockout-tagout. Lockout-tagout is a safety procedure performed before starting the maintenance or cleaning of a machine. The procedure consists of blocking the power to the machine. This is to prevent the machine from turning on and causing physical damage to workers. Removing and securing the product. After completing the lockout and tagout procedure, we must remove the product from the area before beginning to clean. This is to prevent contaminating the product with aerosol or chemicals. Remember that aerosol can transport microorganisms from one area to another, thus causing cross-contamination. We should not drive the forklift if we are not authorized. If you are not authorized to drive the forklift, then ask a driver who is authorized to move the product. Clean, disinfect, and cover the control panels. After removing the product, we start the cleaning. Using wipes, cloths, and chemicals, we clean and disinfect the control panels. We then cover the control panels to prevent them from becoming recontaminated during the cleaning procedure. Then we disassemble the machine parts to make them accessible for cleaning and disinfection. There are some machines that, if we do not dismantle them by parts, it would be difficult or impossible to clean and disinfect them. We then remove the visible product from the machines without using water. In this part of the first step, we use our hands to lift the product, or in some cases, we can use tools, but we do not use water. Then we remove the visible product from the floor without using water. In this situation, we must lift the product off the floor using the designated brooms and shovels. Finally, we remove the garbage from the area. Removing the waste is the last part of the first step. As you may have noticed, during the entire first step, there is no use of water to remove the product. In the second step, we will start using water to remove the residue or surplus of the product. Summary. Let's summarize what we discussed in this first step. First, we proceed to lock the power using a padlock. Then we remove the product from the area so that it does not become contaminated. Then we clean and disinfect the control panels. We continue to cover the control panels so they don't become contaminated again after they have been cleaned and sanitized. We then disassemble the machine parts to reach them better when cleaning and disinfecting. Next, we collect visible product from the machines without using water. Later, we collect the product from the floor using brooms and shovels. And finally, we remove the waste from the area. Second step, pre-rinse.